Okay, viewers, well, this silicon's all dry. Hopefully it's a good seal. Got myself a bit of scrap hose, scrap chemical hose. I just rinsed it, hot water, and cleaned it all out. Use it for air. Now I'm going to put a little nipple on here. But first of all, we've got to heat the hose up. Then we're going to ratchet with a 7mm to suit the hose clamp and do it up with that nice and tight while the hose is hot. That way it's a good strong connection on there and it's not going to pop off. So I'll get my blowtorch going. Probably do this off camera. I'll probably try and do it on camera if you guys can see this. Gotta be careful using the blowtorch or something like this. Make a hell of a mess if you're not careful. Yeah. Yep. Just light it up in here. This should be done outside, but righto. Just briefly heat it up. Okay. Just burn the outside of it. Get a decent distance away from the blowtorch. Okay, that's not working as well as I thought. Should have used an electric heat gun and basically heat this up. Well, it's a bit soft now. If I put the hose clamp on it now, you can see the difference how big I got to get the hose to go over this. It's probably the wrong size nipple anyway, so if not, I'll just get a smaller one. But yeah, you can see it's the wrong size nipple, so I'll get a smaller one and I'll show you how to drill it on. Right, viewers, will change the plan. I can actually make it possible if I use a heat gun. This will heat it properly and thoroughly. Getting there. All the way around the hose, getting nice and soft. Blacken the spots of the blowtorch. That heats it too much too quick. That didn't really work as well as I thought it would. I'll try and push the nipple on if I can. You can see this. Like that. It's very difficult to get it in. That barb was very big, a bit too big I think. Gotta heat up further down and it'll work. So, more heating. There. Hose smells like crap because of all the chemical that used to be on it, or used to be used it for. Alright, I'm going to cheat a bit. I've got a pair of circlip pliers that open up and they're used for outer circlips around shafts. I'm going to use them and cheat a bit with it and try and stretch it, put them in there and stretch it open as I'm heating it. So I'll go get them. Okay, viewers, what I've done. Using these, stretch evenly around it while it's still warm. Just hold it a bit to retain its shape. Put the camera on here because it's a bit dirty on the table for the camera. There you go, it's getting a bit easier to push in. There we go, much better. Get done further than that, I hope I can. Oh no, that's pretty hard. Basically, the further I get it on, the better. Right up to this little rib here. There's a rough guide where the hose is supposed to go. And then ensure a good connection that doesn't leak. There we go. That's fully on there. So now we'll get our hose clamp. You can see how big that barb really is. Huge. This will probably never come off now. The only way to get this hose off, you cut this off and heat it and melt it off. Oops, wrong way. Undo the hose clamp. I can find which way it's going. I think it might be stripped, this hose clamp, yeah. Yeah, it might be stuffed. Here we go, I'm going the right way now. Just right here, against this barb. The harder it bites, the better the seal. No. Hose clamp stripping, skipping. Need a new hose clamp. When you're doing something like this, make sure you use a good quality hose clamp. By the way, this hose clamp is ruined, so piece of crap, it all falls apart anyway. Look at that. Cheap. Cheap and nasty. You see the way it's been skipping. This thread doesn't get pushed hard enough against the this doesn't get pushed hard enough closed, and it doesn't bite into these threads hard enough, and it just skips, falls apart. So I'll go find the hose clamp and we'll try again. Okay viewers, I've got myself a much better hose clamp. This one's made by a brand Norma. It's a pretty strong mechanical hose clamp. Very hard to destroy compared to those other ones, like that other one I just had. So you put it there just above the barb, preferably when the hose is still soft and hot, do it up tight. I might have to put extra heat to this and get it to bite in properly. And that one's have barb to hold it solidly, otherwise the pressure will pop it straight off. Oh, bloody stinks too. The hose clamp was used on a spray vat for a farm, so still got the chemical residue all over it. You can smell it burning. It smells of sulphur. Mainly, yeah, so this is off a spray that was mainly used for sulphur spraying, so clean that out. This heat would have cleaned that smell off now, so you got the sulphur off the hose clamp. So yeah, it's a pretty good clamp. It's used for farming stuff like this. Try to get a good view for the camera. Hopefully I've got the hose hot enough. There we go, biting in now. There we go. Keep going for it, get it really tight. And not so tight that the hose clamp strips. That's what you're looking for. Something like that is a good bite, so when it cools down, that's going to be locked on there. So yeah, preferably when the hose is hot, less stressful for the hose clamp. It makes it more effective bond. So yeah, got a little bit too hot there. Oh, that's good enough. I'm going to put that in the cold water and cool it down and then we'll set. So yeah, there we can go and put it on. Yeah, these are pretty good farm grade quality hose clamps. So these are made for pressure too. So these hose clamps won't slip if the hose gets too much pressure. Alright, I'll clean it all up and I'll show you how to put it on. Okay, viewers, well, first of all I'm going to establish the best way to have the hose. I use this end up here, and this bend that's naturally formed in the hose will go up and connect to here. That way there's less stress in these connections as possible. Now I don't need to use thread tape. There's a nylon washer in there that bites into the lip of that fitting. And same on this end, which bites into that. So I don't need to use any thread tape. So I'll screw this on loosely before I start. Without a door of one hand, because neither one to straighten it out. Otherwise it'll cross thread. So yeah, like that. So the best way to do it would be like this. There's the least amount of stress on that, so screw that on lightly just to hold it. Alright, then we get a shifter there. to support that, so that doesn't move, and I'll get another one on here and turn it. So I'll find somewhere to put the camera. Anyway, here's your sold components box. Just use this box for storing components and shit in. The camera can see that good enough. And adjust. Go there. Support that one. Oops. Hopefully it's not close-headed. There we go. Got to get this sweater on there tight. Start it off by hand till you can't turn it anymore, and you finish it off with a shifter. That's damn tight. Alright, that doesn't go on nowhere, that should not leak. That's biting pretty hard, that seal. So yeah. Now I've got to try not to move that too much because it's going to put stress on these connections. So now we're going to that's the correct way to use a shifter. That jaw goes in the least stresses on this jaw here when you use it with bolts. Okay, loosen it off. I need two hands, one to support this hose so if I can do it with a camera hand. There we go. That's tight. Next thing I can do is test it, see what happens. Hopefully nothing goes bang. So yeah, that's better. Stress-free joint connection. It goes there. Right, I'm going to get a power cord and hook these up. Something starts to happen there. I can open that for safety. So yeah, I'll get the extension cord and I'll plug her in.